Caves rushed out of the car.
Yeah.
Did not help me carry any of the equipment in. He got the last regular room, and then they had to give me the suite.
Bob's the sweet master.
That's
By
like
the way,
the dude that passes you on the freeway, and he's like a hot shot, and then 2 miles later, you see him pulled over by the cops down the road, like, hey,
By the way, this is our video segment, and we just got live. We're a little bit late getting live, but here we are live now on our social media channels. Don't forget, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. We're over 80 subscribers right now.
Oh, we're huge.
All right, here we go. Johnny Ballgame, college football edition, no-brainer, brain scratcher. All right, Johnny, even though Jimbo Fisher says the public feud with Nick Saban is over, some media member at SEC Media Days will try to dredge up Saban's comments about Texas A&M buying their players again.
No brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
I just think there's too many folks around, too many media members at SEC Media Days. And look, there's an old story in newspaper stuff. Like, not everybody can write the same thing. You have to have other things. And there will be those reporters, bloggers, whomever they are, that will ask either Saban or Jimbo or both to kind of put some more kindle, maybe some more wood on that fire and get that thing going up again, JP. I think Saban and Jimbo are probably going to brush it off, but I would expect down the road, maybe before they play, to rehash some of this. But yeah, people are going to ask him about it. It's the SEC.
Bob, SEC Media Days, some reporter is going to get enough gumption to ask Nick Saban or Jimbo Fisher about the public feud.
No-brainer. Oh, that's a no-brainer. I just think somebody's going to ask, and if it's somebody that probably doesn't have a lot of cachet, I think Nick Saban's gonna give him a little of the what for. I don't think it's going to be a major topic.
Yeah.
But if you tell me there's probably well over 100 media members are going to be there,
oh yeah,
somebody is going to ask that question.
And Saban's going to do what he can to make that somebody look about this big, real little small guy, Bob. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. No, Nick Saban did.
He'll make them think twice about asking a stupid question, or I guess it's not a stupid question. It's a fair question, but if they said it's over, we said it was over. Why are we going down this road? We got NIL to talk about. We got the SEC. We got Texas. We got Oklahoma coming in. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. All right, Bob Behler. All right. SEC Media Days. Right. Auburn head coach Brian Harsin will be noticeably more cordial with the media at SEC Media Days.
No-brainer. Oh, that's a no-brainer. They got him out to a lot of different events, traveled him around the state, got him to Atlanta for alumni things. Coach Harsin excels when he is in that mode. He went to the NASCAR race in Talladega and drove the pace car. It looked like they made a big effort to get him out to the Auburn public, to make him more likable and get more people out to know him. I think that's a no-brainer. He's gonna be friendly and really chatty with the media, I believe.
Johnny Ballgame, Auburn coach Brian Harsin, more friendly, more cordial.
I'll say this is a brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
And I understand everything he's done this offseason to make him a more likable figure, and I think it's worked. But I think SEC Media Days, all of a sudden Harsin is going to show up there, and he's going to turn into who he is, Brian Harsin. And I just think he might try to be a little nicer, but that's hard for him. I think he is who he is. He's going to have his big filibuster opening questions or answers on his press conference where he talks for 6 minutes before anybody else can get a question in. I think we're going to see the old Brian Harsin at SEC Media Days, JP.
How many times do you think he's going to be asked about, his job security?
1,000 times. And he's not going to be happy answering those questions. And we've all interviewed Brian Harsin a million times. If you ask him a question he's not happy about, he has a tough time, or at least he has in the past had a tough time of taking the nice guy way out. He'll just, JP, nobody's battling, JP. Nobody is battling.
Pretty good relationship for two guys battling for playing time. How have you seen that relationship grow over the last few months?
Yeah, well, they're not battling, so there's no battling. I think we made that very clear.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Johnny Ballgame, it is hypocritical for Mike Gundy. We're moving on to Big 12 now. Mike Gundy said yesterday that the conference realignment is just a big cash grab. It's hypocritical for Gundy, who makes $7.5 million a year, to criticize conference realignment for going for the cash.
You know, coaches are so funny. They make so much money at that level now. They get the country club membership, the
no-brainer
sports
brain
car.
scratcher.
Brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
They make so much money. And actually, I meant to say no-brainer on that, JP.
Okay,
I messed this one up.
That's a no-brainer.
It's just funny to me with these coaches who make all this money. Here we go. I'll say it again. And then they're going to talk about anybody else trying for any type of a cash grab. Gundy's cool, though. He says what he says. I mean, you hear Gundy every day on this show. You might hear him in about 20 minutes on our Rock, Chalk, and Pop. But, coaches make so much money now. To criticize anybody else seems, I can do without that, JP.
Bob Behler, Mike Gundy, hypocritical with his comments.
No-brainer. That's a no-brainer. If somebody made the comment that maybe was a player or something, yeah. But come on. He's making what, $7 million a year?
$7.5 million.
I cheated him out of $500,000.
Yeah,
And Stillwater, I'm sure, goes a fair ways, guys.
All right, Bob Behler, Big 12. We'll stay with that. New Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark met with the media yesterday. He will negotiate a buyout for Texas and Oklahoma to leave for the SEC early.
Brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
I don't think so. $70 million is what they supposedly would have.
That's
to
what the
pay.
buyout is. $35 million or $70 million.
They're not.
each.
They're not going to help him out. One of the reasons is you kind of want to stick it to him. Another reason, I think, is you don't want your TV contract lowered, because if they paid whatever the contract is, it includes Oklahoma and Texas. If you let them out, the Foxes and the ESPNs that have the contract are going to want to negotiate down. So you're going to have the buyout be less. No, I think they stick it to them the whole time. No, they will not be let out.
Johnny, new Big 12 commissioner negotiates a buyout for Texas and Oklahoma.
No-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
The one thing that Bob did say that makes a ton of sense on this is the television contract, and it's a totally different contract without Texas and Oklahoma. I get that, but the SEC and the money that these programs have, if it can help the Big 12 financially, I say you do it.
Did you just almost burp up?
Yeah, I just had a bunch of water. Nobody wants them in it, right? They don't want Texas and Oklahoma, the other members of the league. Get these yahoos out of here. They don't want to be here, so we don't want them. If you're going to give us $35 million per school so you can go to the SEC a year, maybe two earlier, I think they consider it. Get these yahoos, make like a tree, and get out of here so we can do our own thing. But, yeah, the TV revenue will be interesting.
All right, when do the Mountain West All-Conference team come out next week?
The all-conference team will come out Thursday. The predicted order of finish will come out Wednesday.
Okay, so let's talk about the all-conference preseason poll next week. Johnny, Boise State's John Ojukwu, George Halani, and Jonah Dalmas will be first-team preseason all-conference next week.
Brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
I don't know how Ojukwu won't be. He was the all-conference left tackle last year, so he'll be there. Jonah Dalmas, it would be a shocker if he's not there. He's going to be there. But I don't know about George Halani. I think the rest of the league and media members in this league might have a different thought when it comes to George Halani than the folks do here in Boise. Now, I don't think there's a plethora of conference first team caliber running backs coming back in this league this year. Maybe there's some transfers, but they have a tough time too. I don't know if George Halani's first team preseason, and I don't know that he should be, guys. I had one touchdown last year.
Bob Behler, Ojukwu, Halani, Dalmas, first teamers next week.
I guess I would have to say it's a brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
But in my opinion, he is going to be a first teamer. I voted for him. That's Alani I'm speaking of. The other two are no-brainers. They will be first team.
So
My question is there's enough other running backs. You're only picking 2.
Okay.
So there's enough other running backs that you could make a case for. I think George Jelani could very easily be the running back. Again, when you say first team, there's only a first team in the preseason. So 2 guys are going to be all preseason, all conference, and everybody else is not going to be listed. Could he get it? Yes. Could he not get it? I could see that as well.
All right, Bob Behler will stay with you. Every one of them, every Mountain West athletic director has contacted either the Big 12 or the Pac-12 about joining their conference.
I'm going to go with brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
I think there's going to be a school or two. San Jose State comes to mind, where there's obviously no fit with the Big 12 for them. So you're not even going to bother with that. And I would think, looking at the lay of the land, they would even think that there's no way they could sell the Pac-12. I'd say at least one of the schools did not try to push themselves for expansion to the P5.
All right, Johnny, every Mountain West athletic director has got on the phone and called either the Big 12 or the Pac-12.
I'll say no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
I just think even if you don't have a chance at this, it's one of those things like Wayne Gretzky said, you're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And you're right. Bob's right. San Jose has nothing to do with the Big 12, but maybe they have contacts and they called Kliavkoff. I would think wouldn't be doing your due diligence as an athletic director, at least not somehow reaching out. Hey, is there going to be a conference call that I need to get in on? Is there going to be ideas? Can we talk about this or that? I mean, I think you would probably go in that direction with at least one of the leagues. I think you would make yourself available, Bob.
Don't you think you'd get laughed at?
Maybe.
I mean, if I'm George Kliavkoff, I don't even know if I take that call.
Yeah. You're not going to get the date with the prom queen, Bob, if you don't ask.
Yeah.
I mean, if Stacy's available,
Stacy's available.
you got to ask, right?
Maybe San Jose could say to the Big 12, hey, you want the Bay Area? We'll be there for you. I mean, look at Fresno's charts. Hey, apparently Fresno is part of the Bay Area and Sacramento now. So,
Yeah.
well,
I didn't see any charts put out by San Jose.
no, I didn't either.
All right, Johnny, we'll stay with you. And I think I know your answer to this one. The Pac-12 should be looking at the Las Vegas TV market when it comes to possible expansion.
No-brainer.
That's a no-brainer.
For me, too, and the TV market isn't as sexy as maybe you would think, but it's getting better. But just everything else that comes with Las Vegas, bowl games, conference tournaments, league offices, the fact that it is the fastest growing sports city we have in this country right now. To me, it checks too many boxes. And I don't think anybody's going to say, oh, my God, you got Vegas, you idiots. I don't care if they're not good at football. They don't have to be good at football to help the league. And I think if you give them that type of resource, give them those poker chips sitting down at the table, I think they can do more with that. And they got that stadium. One of the biggest bummers I heard today from Boise State in the new schedule in the Mountain West is that Boise State now won't get to play in that stadium for another 3 years. I wanted to make that trip, Bob.
All right, Bob Behler, Pac-12, Las Vegas.
Brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
You got to add something to the table. And they've not done much in basketball, and they've done even less in football. You're still getting your games there for the championship. You're still getting your bowl game there. Come on. They're way at the back of the line compared to some of the other teams. I'm not picking up the phone to talk to them.
All right, Bob, final one. Make this one quick. We're running late. New head coach Jason Eck of the Idaho Vandals will have a winning season in his first year at the helm of Idaho.
I'm going to go brain scratcher.
Yeah, that's a brain scratcher for sure.
And I think the biggest reason I'm going to say that, they play 11 games. They're playing 2 P5s. You're going to start behind the 8 ball. If he gets a winning season, and I really enjoyed meeting him when he was here, he's going to be doing a heck of a job. But I think starting behind the 8 ball with what you would think are 2 losses is going to make it tough.
Johnny, go with your head, not your heart.
Yeah, I have to no-brainer this.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, they'll go 1-2 in the non-con. They play 11 games, so that means what? They have to go 4-4 in the Big, still 5-3 in the Big Sky. They got to win 5 Big Sky games, and then they'll win Drake, wherever the hell they play. Yeah, I'm in a no-brainer with that.
They
Jason
play
Eck.
Drake.
Have a
has
winning season year one. Is it? No, maybe it's not Drake.
Oh.
Yeah, it is Drake.
They have
yeah,
a football team.
They do.
What league are they in?
Non-scholarship.
Non-scholarship FCS.
Oh.
Idaho will hammer them. All
That's
right,
it?
great stuff.
That was good.
No-brainer, brain scratcher. Share your thoughts on the Cloverdale Plumbing text line at 208-424-9300. JP with another U.S. Open.
British Open.
I said U.S. Another British Open scoring update and the big news coming out of the Mountain West today. That's next on Prater in the Ballgame.
This is Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame on Sports Radio 95.3 FM and 13.